Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're gonna do a complete tour of the city of Scottsdale. So you're thinking about moving or relocating here to Scottsdale, Arizona. Scottsdale is actually really broken down into 3 distinct areas. In this video, we're gonna go through Old Town, Central Scottsdale, and North Scottsdale. We're gonna show you all the greatest places to go out. We're gonna show you where the food is, the entertainment, the neighborhood. Complete tour. You'll have a really solid understanding of Scottsdale by the end of this video, so stay tuned. Love it. So if you're even thinking about moving or relocating here to Scottsdale or anywhere in the greater Phoenix area, make sure you pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us an email, send a text message, days, nights, weekends. We've got your back, but moving here to Scottsdale, Arizona. All right, guys, so I'm here with Viktoriia. She is one of our top agents here at the Living in Phoenix team, and she's an expert on all things Scottsdale. So Viktoriia, we're here in Old Town, Scottsdale, and of course I've been here before, but what's it like to actually live here? Like if somebody who's considering moving to Scottsdale, what do they need to know? What do they want to know?
So we're here in Old Town Scottsdale, right in the heart of so many different options for restaurants, nightlife. We're right over here just outside of a Drunk Monk, which is it's one of the first places that I ever visited when I first moved to the area. Like endless bachelorette parties. One of the funnest things you will see here is the beer bike. So we're here in a downtown Scottsdale, which is also called Old Town, which is the absolutely place to be if you want to be in the middle of all of the action. You got basically like a party central out here with endless bachelor and bachelorette parties. You'll see the beer bike crawling through here, which is so much fun. And Scottsdale is actually one of the best cities out there in the country when it comes to art. It has over 125 different studios and galleries, and you're definitely not gonna get bored here. I'm right over here on the main street, so you can really kind of see that this is the place that truly preserved the old-timey charm of, you know, narrow streets with really small storefronts. There are some of the older boutique stores, more kind of like a mom-and-pop place, and little restaurants, lots of souvenir shops as well, and you will definitely notice a lot of Western themed stores, restaurants, and just the whole place kind of reminds you of the cowboys and this Midwest type of environment. So we are right here at downtown Scottsdale, which is really mostly known by the name of Old Town. It is a historic downtown, which means we've got a lot of these old school little narrow streets with small storefronts of a lot of specialty shops, little souvenir stores, and small restaurants. So Scottsdale's motto is actually the West's most Western town, which you will definitely see it by just walking through and scrolling through the streets of Old Town. Really, if you are looking to come in and check out some of the Phoenix Metro nightlife, Old Town Scottsdale is really the place to go. You have numerous nightclubs, lots of rooftop bars, some speakeasies as well, which is really fun trying to find them and get in and having this really cool atmosphere. You'll see a lot of partying going on here as well with the beer bike. Even on a later morning, you'll see it coming by here, and it's just so much fun seeing. It's super popular with bachelorette parties, but a lot of people actually go for the team building exercise type of thing as well, so super fun. With so many bars out here, it's a perfect spot for bar hopping as well. It's super walkable down here as well, so lots of these little streets are made for pedestrians, which makes it super easy to get from place to place. You'll see so many people walking throughout the day. I would say right now it's definitely super slow, but I am here super early. So during the day or evening, there's gonna be just so many people here. Old Town has a lot of different parking areas. Even just on the main streets right here, you'll see a lot of parking spots where they don't have meters on them, they just have the time limit, so that's kind of nice as well. So many parking options here as well, but you will notice that it is an extremely popular destination for the bachelorette parties. Just a lot of people coming down here to have a good time. Definitely a party central to be down here during the night. If bar hopping or nightlife scene is not really for you and you're more interested in museums or art, Old Town has that for you as well. Lots of different options, and really, even if you just were to go down the main street, especially on Thursday nights, they have Art Walk, which is super cool to come down here and just walk through. Even either you are experienced art collector or just a casual browser, definitely come and check this out as well. There are over 125 galleries and exhibitions here in Scottsdale, but over 50 of them are just here in Old Town. Town. So it's definitely the place to be if you want to check out the art scene as well. Old Town is also extremely pedestrian friendly. Everything that you can really think of is going to be here in walking distance. There are a few condos here around Old Town, but the more popular one's going to be your Optimal Camel View Village and Scottsdale waterfront condos as well, which is so hard to grab one of these condos when they do come up for sale because there's so much competition to get those, not just from the people who are wanting to live here and be just in the heart of Scottsdale, but also a lot of investors who would love to try and get into one of these to rent out. Actually, you know, my friend from Ukraine was visiting me about a couple of months ago, and one of the things that she always mentions when she comes down here to America in general, she always says how non-walkable our cities are. You pretty much absolutely have to have a car. You have to get in the car to go anywhere. Go grocery shopping, you go into the gym, you're going anywhere. No matter where you're going, you always bring your car with you. So this is one of the nicest part about being here in Old Town is that everything is walking distance. You can get pretty much anywhere you want. You got your doctors, dry cleaning, coffees, restaurants, grocery stores, everything. Which is why it's so hard to snatch up one of these condos that come up here for sale because so many people are sitting there and waiting for them to show up on the market. And I will say with how many of them are sold off market as well, you definitely want to have a specialist and professional on your side because that way you won't miss out when something does come up. And you can actually walk to where you're trying to get to. If you just hop on the trolley, that will definitely help as well. And the trolley system is here. You'll see a trolley every 20 minutes coming through the streets.
All right, so Victoria, tell me a little bit about where we are. We are on the rooftop of this insanely gorgeous condo building. What can you tell us about this place?
Well, we are absolutely in the heart of downtown Scottsdale. This is one of the best prime locations as far as your condo urban living. It is walking distance to absolutely everything. Got your Fashion Square Mall. During Christmas time, you have Scottsdale here with all the lights. It's absolutely beautiful.
Awesome.
Here at Scottsdale Waterfront Residences, it's one of the most prime locations as far as your urban condo living. So we are here at Scottsdale Waterfront Residences. They've also been just called the Waterfront Condos. It's one of the most prime location here in downtown Scottsdale. You are walking distance to absolutely everything. And I mean, look at this view. You got this city skyline view, the view of the Old Town and your Camelback Mountains right over there. So pretty much anything that you can think of as far as your upscale amenities for luxury condo, you're gonna have it here. It's a 24-hour surveillance with the valet parking, concierge up front, and you got a fitness room. Obviously here we have the rooftop pool with magnificent views throughout. You got between two buildings, there's only about 100 units over here, which makes it so much more unattainable as far as like how many units even come on the market. At this time right now, there's only 4 of them available for sale and only 1 of them available for rent. So you really don't get to have a lot of opportunities to live here. A lot of people who do own these never want to let them go. So the units here range from 1,100 to 4,000 square feet for your penthouses. As far as parking, there's underground parking here for the residents. Some of the units have 2 parking spots that are owned. So we're here at the Fashion Square Mall, which is one of the older malls out here. Right now they're going through a major remodel and there's definitely lots of expansion going on, lots of little different stores coming in. So on the streets of Old Town here, you're mostly just gonna see a lot of private little boutiques. In the Fashion Square Mall, you're mostly gonna see a lot of big name brands like Louis Vuitton, Marc Jacobs, Assche. The mall was actually built back in the 60s, but even right now they're going through a really major remodel. So you will see a lot of expansion going on and there's just so many new things coming down here. So this mall is 3-story. This is the biggest mall in Arizona actually, but even though it's enclosed, so you get to enjoy all of the AC in the summertime because of the open roof. You still get to enjoy a little bit of Arizona sunshine just from seeing the sun from up here. Fashion Square Mall is actually the biggest mall here in Arizona with over 2 million square feet retail space with over 240 restaurants and different stores. There's so many many dining options hidden here throughout the mall. But if you don't actually feel like going out and sitting down in a restaurant, the food court actually has quite a bit of options out here as well. One of my favorite options is Salad and Go, relatively healthy and super quick. We're going to South Scottsdale, where you're gonna have a lot of little neighborhoods that are a lot older, but you will notice that a lot of those homes are fully remodeled, have a really nice latest luxury updates. I will say that a lot of them are being used as a short-term rentals, so it's gonna be like your Airbnbs, where if you are trying to get into a place that's a little bit more quieter, you do have to keep that in mind because you never know if your neighbor is gonna end up selling to another investor. So even if when you are buying, if you end up in the property that isn't on Airbnb, it just might end up being there.
Yeah, so that totally makes sense as we're driving around what you mean by older neighborhood, no HOA. A lot of these houses are really nice, but we just saw one that had bushes completely grown over it. Probably
sometimes that does happen.
I mean, it makes sense, but I mean, I just saw a group of girls over here, probably a bachelorette party out in front of this super nice house. I'm guessing that was an Airbnb.
Yeah, super common
most likely.
here.
Yeah, so okay, well that makes sense. Like if you're gonna actually live here, you're kind of living around Old Town is party central, and you're gonna have a lot of Airbnbs in this immediate vicinity, with the exception, of course, of these really high-end luxury condos. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and honestly, the thing is that Old Town is gonna be loud and full of a nightlife anyway. So most people who do end up living here don't really even care so much that it is loud, or there's gonna be a lot of parties throughout. And because even just on the streets, everybody's.
I get it. So when I was in my 20s, this would have been a perfect neighborhood for me. But now that I'm not, I get it. Okay, perfect. Right. So where are we headed next to? What are you going to show us next?
So now we're going to Chaparral Park to kind of get you an idea of what different parks are looking like here. Scottsdale is full of lots of different trails, parks. It has one of the best places for biking trails.
Okay.
Honestly, even if you're just driving around the Old Town, you'll see so many people on the bikes just,
cool.
Getting around.
Fun, great.
So we're right over here at the Chaparral Park, which is located right in the center of Scottsdale, super close to Old Town, quick and easy access to 101, one of the more popular destinations when you just want to, stroll down the park. Or there's 3 ramadas here that you can reserve, super easy over on the Scottsdale website. And you got 3-acre dog park, which is amazing. Quite a bit of a shaded area as well. Lots of grass. There's a lot of ball fields. You got baseball, basketball. There are also a couple sandy volleyball fields as well. All of them are also super easy to reserve. Just send over the form over the website and you're good. Like I mentioned earlier as well, you'll see a lot of bikers. Also, these are beautiful trails. The community center also have a pool at the lake. The lake is perfect for boating and fishing. It has little fishing piers as well. It really will give you a much better idea of what Scottsdale has to offer, because I absolutely love Chaparral Park, but I will say Scottsdale has over, 40 different parks that in a way are similar, where there's just so many little amenities here. And again, a lot of these pathways for bike trails and just trails in general are all kind of intertwined, so they're connected. So like I said, you'll see a lot of bicyclists here, which is perfect environment. It has a really nice area for the dog park as well. So a few separate off-leash areas. And what's really nice too, you actually have a little bit more of a shaded area as well. I really like Cosmo Park back in Gilbert, but here it's almost doesn't even seem like you're in a desert just from how many trees out here. All the landscaping is absolutely beautiful. You gotta check it out here. I'm right over here at McCormick Ranch at Golf Club. This is actually one of the best public golf courses that you'll find here in Scottsdale. So the club has 2 18-hole championship rate golf courses out here. And you know what? If you're not a golfer, that's totally fine as well, because so many people still choose McCormick Ranch because it has over 25 miles of walkways and bike paths that are interconnected with the parks here. It's absolutely beautiful. Kind of hard to believe that it was just a cattle ranch transformed into this amazing master plan community. So you also got numerous ponds and lakes that are just kind of interconnected throughout the neighborhood. And as far as different housing options, you got a little bit of everything. You have condos, townhomes, and just single family homes as well. I would say that the Old Town feel of Scottsdale doesn't work for you with all of the parties and the craziness. This is kind of like the the perfect middle ground because you still get this quiet neighborhood feel, but at the same time, you're right in the middle of everything, just in the center of Scottsdale with easy access to the highway, to all of the shopping. It's absolutely beautiful. So we are here, the Paseo Village, which is, I would say it's almost part of the McCormick Ranch, right next to McCormick Ranch area. Honestly, I would say this is just like a part of McCormick Ranch at this point. So this particular little shopping area doesn't really have a grocery store, but you will find here some little restaurants, your postal office, Walgreens, obviously Starbucks, and the gas station, and you got your LA Fitness as well. This will give you a little bit better idea of what these little shopping areas look like around the master plan communities like McCormick Ranch. So this particular one doesn't really have a grocery store, has a lot of little different stores, little dining option, the Vic as well. There's so many little playgrounds out here, and notice a lot of them are shaded, and the difference is crazy how much cooler it is here. So right now it's about 2 o'clock, which means like it's pretty much in the summertime. It's like the hottest time, and yeah, definitely playground for kids of all ages. We did come in here a little bit later in the day, so during the summertime they do not have the train running after 1 p.m. But come on over here and have your kiddos ride the Alan Herschel 1950s vintage carousel. So much fun, so much history out here. And right over here where the train is actually boarding, and right now we are here just a little bit too late. Now in the summertime it gets quite a bit hot, so they do not have the train running, but oh my goodness, during the winter time this is the place to be. So fun. So McCormick Ranch is actually adjacent to one of the coolest parks here. Such a hit with the kids, it's crazy. So it's McCormick Stillman Railroad Park. It has over 30 acres of different amenities here. Obviously you can take a ride on railroad. Right over here you can actually see the tracks, multiple ramadas available for reservation as well. So we're here at Gainey Ranch. If you're looking for a little bit more of a affluent, high-end type of resort style living, definitely would look here. It's super close to everything, kind of like McCormick Ranch, but you do have the gated entry that kind of helps you a little bit more with the privacy and security. The community offers 27 holes of championship golf course, absolutely stunning fields here. Got incredible fitness facility, the Central Club here. You have tennis courts, swimming pool, pretty much anything you can think of for resort-like lifestyle you're gonna have here. So similar to McCormick Ranch, it is actually also was previously just the Arabian Horse Ranch that was developed into this master plan community back in the 80s, so a little bit later. It does have a gated entrance, so if you are a little bit more concerned about the security and the safety, this is gonna be a little bit more your style versus like a McCormick Ranch. And once again, you got super close proximity to all of the shopping, to all of the activities, and still getting a little bit more of a peace of quiet of, you know, living out here at the golf course. Now, if you're actually looking for more of a all-day family fun, you definitely need to check out the Arizona Boardwalk. It features 9 main attractions, which are surrounded with some restaurants, coffee places, and some souvenir shops as well. One of the main attractions here is the Odyssey Aquarium. You really gotta check it out. It's obviously super fun for kids, but lots of adults will enjoy it as well. Yeah, it's got the arcade. Pangea Land of Dinosaurs has lots of cool exhibitions with a life-size dinosaur statues, Johnny's Playground, and of course it's all surrounded by multiple dining options, some souvenir shops, and pretty nice coffee place as well that you'd probably like to stop by with all the walking you're gonna be doing here. And now if you're looking for not so children-friendly type of fun, just a little bit south down the highway is your Top Golf and the Talking Stick Casino, with obviously lots of resort style entertainment and obviously lots of different game options. Just across the highway from there, we have a huge shopping center, the Pavilions at Talking Stick. That's where you're gonna find the indoor skydiving place and the Octane Raceway if you wanna go some go-kart racing. So now I'm here at Kierland neighborhood, which is more specifically at Scottsdale Quarter, another huge shopping center here in Scottsdale. So think of it as Old Town got Fashion Square Mall, and Central Scottsdale have Kierland Commons and Scottsdale Quarter. Another really big open air mall here. You will see that there's quite a bit of them here in Phoenix Metro in general. And again, just because it's most of the year it's so beautiful with the dry weather and nice breeze. So, and in the summertime when it does get over 100 degrees, this is what misters are for. So still really nice out here. You will find numerous anything from jewelry and apparel to some really specific kind of specialty stores. So quite a bit of a high-end stores here as well. And now since the Scottsdale quarter is actually one of the more newer areas, a lot of people prefer it to Old Town just because it has a lot more of the modern feel to it versus that old-time rustic western look of Old Town. Also, it does have quite a bit of different specialty stores which are more commonly known if you were browsing on the internet, and they actually have the location here, and it's so fun to check some of those out. Now, even though there's most of this area here is for shopping, you will also find a lot of people just walking here throughout because again, it's such a beautiful area. So lots of people just even exercising. You will see some kids as well, especially at the center of Scottsdale quarter. There's pretty much always the splash pad that's working, and lots of people just come in to have fun with kids. And of course, numerous restaurants. Zinburger is one of my favorites, more of kind of like an elevated hamburger place. Just a lot of people walking and strolling the streets, living in the condos nearby at Love's Kierland Center, or commonly known Optima Kierland. One of the things that I did notice here that's kind of interesting is how many furniture stores are out here. I don't think I've ever seen so many furniture stores in just like one area. My friend from Ukraine, who's an interior designer, was visiting me, and she actually works with a lot of American clients, and she would always recommend different furniture pieces from all of these stores like West Elm, Our House, or Pottery Barn. But for some of them, she doesn't really know what they feel like, if they're comfortable to sit in, what the textures are like. So one day we literally went out to Scottsdale quarter and Kierland Commons, and we were doing nothing but just going through all of the furniture stores, and she was able to take a lot of pictures and just show all of her clients what her thoughts are on things. So that was kind of fun too. Now, being here in the Kierland neighborhood, I cannot talk about the Kierland Optima condominiums, which Optima in general has a really distinct look to their condominiums. There are 4 of them throughout the Phoenix metro, of which 3 of them are actually here in Scottsdale. And especially if you've already been to Scottsdale and been to Old Town and the Scottsdale quarter, you'll know exactly what I mean by distinct look. Because when I first visited Scottsdale and I was just driving around in this area, it was really fun to see driving by Optima condos and thinking to myself, what are these apartments with all of the greenery? And this is one of the more of a distinct features Optima condos. But other than that, it does offer your luxury lifestyle resort like amenities with, again, 24-hour surveillance. Kierland Optima is actually one of those condos around Kierland neighborhood that is walking distance to pretty much everything here. So once again, you wouldn't really need to have a car if you're living down here. So Optima Kierland Center does offer a number of luxurious scale amenities, and this is your perfect condo living here because again, you are so close to Kierland Commons and to Scottsdale quarter, so walking distance to everything. The community does consist from multiple towers with over 400 units here, ranging with studios of 700 square feet to the penthouses of 4,000 square feet and huge residences. Out of all the Optimas, it is one of the newer ones. The construction started in 2015, but it was finished in 2020. And now I know that most of this video, we mostly talked about all of these wonderful things to do in Scottsdale, fun, where to live. And again, there's just so many resort style, fun type of environment in here that we kind of forget that Scottsdale is one of the best cities in the States actually that comes to jobs. And here in the Kierland neighborhood, we are actually located right next to Scottsdale Airport, which is general aviation reliever. So there's no Avialine commuter airline service in here, but it is definitely one of the busiest private airports with lots of commercial jets coming through. Especially if you are living here, definitely gonna see the planes coming through all the time. When we are talking on job situation, one of the more unique things about this area is that the airport and surrounding air park area is one of the largest employment centers in all Arizona. And one of the more unique things about this and why there's just so many businesses out here is because this is the only part of Scottsdale that's industrially zoned. So there's definitely so many opportunities. The air park area alone serves over 85 major companies and and there's over 3,000 of small to medium businesses, and overall it employs almost 60,000 people. So definitely lots of jobs out here. Once again, the location for this area is absolutely beautiful with the airport right here and access to 101 loop that puts you so close to everything. As far as the big name employers here for Air Park specifically, there's Assche, Vanguard, Blue Yonder. That would be your really major employees out here. When we're talking Scottsdale in general, well, there's so many jobs throughout because of all of the resorts, restaurants, all of the businesses out here, but there's definitely more of the three major employment centers, which is Air Park, one of them, and this is the absolute largest, McDowell Road corridor, which is located more on the southern side of Scottsdale. There's going to be a lot more of a densely populated residential areas, and that is where SkyZone is located, which is premier research and development campus. Downtown is actually the second biggest employment center in Scottsdale, and of course, because of being a major tourist destination with lots of art galleries and retail, restaurants, resorts, but that is really not what makes it one of the biggest employment hubs. And there's a lot of big name companies that picked out Scottsdale as their headquarters or their main headquarters right over here. And the technology companies like GoDaddy, General Dynamics, JDA Software, and of course some healthcare companies like Honor Health is actually one of the biggest employers here in Scottsdale, CVS Health, ZocDoc, and so much more. And to kind of have a better idea of how much jobs are out here in Scottsdale, you will notice that there's just so many people who commute to work here. So there's 76% of all of those employed in Scottsdale within the city limits are actually living outside of the city limits. So a lot of people commuting here from West Valley, from Glendale and Avondale, from Phoenix, and from East Valley as well, even though East Valley is definitely big on lots of jobs, especially recently, but there's definitely lots from East Valley who commute here as well. As far as unemployment, it's definitely an all-time low here with under 3%. About 15% is office and administrative type of work, and about 15 for sales. And as far as your food and beverage, there's actually only about 5%. So lots of white collar jobs here, which, as you can imagine, that's probably going to be Scottsdale for you. Now, when it comes to northern Scottsdale, it's going to be a totally different environment and vibe compared to the rest of Scottsdale. Even with between Old Town and Central Scottsdale, it's still going to be a little bit more or less of similarities. Here, you're also going to have a little bit less of a developed area. So while you're even driving through, you'll see a lot of desert landscaping and just fields, which none of that is possible in the rest of Scottsdale because everything seems so developed and built out. You also have a lot of different gated communities. Some of the more commonly known is DC Range, Greyhawk, True North. Because of how much privacy this whole area offers, a lot of time, a lot of athletes and celebrities end up picking this place versus any other of the areas of Scottsdale. When it comes to entertainment, there's definitely not a whole lot of options when it comes to just dining and shopping. But from what you do have here, it's all of the necessities. We've got Fry's, Safeway for grocery shopping. We've got quite a bit of different American style restaurants. So for a lot of people, actually, when they do choose to live here, they really don't get out that much. So all of your immediate needs gonna be covered and you'll be fine. Since you got Pinnacle Peak Park and McDowell Mountain right over here, this place is perfect for outdoor enthusiasts. Anybody who likes hiking or nature, you are definitely far away from the city. And of course, golf is definitely one of the biggest perks of living in this area because you got golf courses like True North, Greyhawk Golf Club, and DC Range Golf Club, which are some of the most famous golf clubs even around the country. So it's definitely, compared to the rest of Scottsdale, it's a lot more quieter, private type of atmosphere in here, which is why so many people love it. And if you would love to be away from the noise of the city, but still close enough to it, this would be really a perfect place for you. In the later videos, we are gonna go into more details between all the different subdivisions within North Scottsdale and all of the differences between them to kind of help you understand better what might be a best fit for you.
All right, Viktoriia, thank you so much for the tour of Scottsdale. Obviously, it's humongous. Like, what are we, 40 miles north to south?
Yeah, pretty much. It's around like, I think it's 30 miles going from from south to north, and
Right. Well,
it's pretty skinny town.
we tried to show you as much as we could into one video, but the reality is if you're thinking about moving or relocating here to Scottsdale, Scottsdale is enormous and not everywhere is right for everybody, and maybe Scottsdale isn't right for you at all. But the only way we're gonna know this is if you pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us an email, send us a text message, days, nights, weekends. We've got your back when moving here to Scottsdale, Arizona. And until the next video, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.